Oh, yeah.
En la casa. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. You're pretty well known. Pero, la raza ahí es puro tejano. That's what they like.
I'm gonna do a short interview real quick.
Mr. Ramiro, can you tell us a little bit about growing up in Mercedes? As far back as you can remember, at home or with your mom, and dad, family?
I was born in mile 1.5 east of Mercedes. We were born there, and then we moved to Weslaco. We were in Weslaco at an experiment station for about a year and a half. Then we moved back to Mercedes, and we lived over on Francis Street. And wait a minute, before then we rented a house in back of the Catholic Church. We were there for about 4 years because I was working for the priest for 3 years. And when World War II ended, I was the one that rang the bell for about an hour. The priest told me to go ahead and ring the bell because World War II had ended. And I went to the Catholic school there, to the 7th grade. When I went to the 8th grade, we started going up north. So finally I dropped out of school. I didn't go to school. At 18, I joined the Army, went through basic training in Fort Lee, Virginia. Stayed there for my basic and secondary training. In 1952, I volunteered to go to Korea. I was sent to Korea. It took 14 days to get there through on a boat. And once we got to Korea, we got landed in Incheon with our weapons, M1s, fully loaded, and it looked like we were going to go into war right there in Incheon. However, there was no war. It was training that they were having at that time. This was 1952. So they sent us all the way up from Incheon to Seoul, Korea. From there, they distributed all the people that were there to different divisions, companies. I was fortunate to have landed in a quartermaster company, 20 miles in back of the front lines. And we used to have air raids, and we used to have all the clothing for the people in the front lines. Every week we get a division, come out, brand new clothes. We used to distribute all the clothes for them. And I was there for 18 months. 18 months, well, the war ended in August of that year, 52. I got there in April. By August, the war was over. So we gave up our weapons and everything else. From there, after 18 months, came back to the United States. I got my discharge in Fort Lee, Virginia. Fort Bliss, Texas. Came back home. After 6 months being home, well, not 6 months, about a year, I got married to my next door neighbor, which was Amparo Martinez. And of course, I started working for Magic Valley Electric in 54. 55, I joined the American Legion. I was there for about 3-4 years. Then I started working for the post office in 1958. I was in the post office carrying mail, being clerk for 18 years. After 18 years, I was promoted to a post officer in charge first of Progreso and then postmaster of Progreso for 5 years. While in Progreso, I was officer in charge of San Diego, Texas for 8 months. Came back and I went to Santa Rosa as a postmaster there, which was a higher level. I was there for 15 years. Total service with the post office was 39 years. And of course, I've been involved with the American Legion for, according to my card, I have been there for 54 years. But I've been with the American Legion since 1955, except that I dropped out for a couple of years, so you start all over again when you start with the American Legion. So I'm involved with the community Knights of Columbus. I was Grand Knight of Knights of Columbus since 63 to 64, 3 consecutive years. After that, I was involved with American Legion. I was commander of American Legion 1974, 75. And then as postmaster, I was a state officer with the National League of Postmaster, and then I became the president of the state league, National League of Postmasters. We traveled to Washington, D.C. for 15 years, lobbying for the Postal Service. 1997, I decided to retire. I was 65 years old. So January the 3rd, 1998, I retired. And I've been retired for 27 years. That's about my whole life. Of course, on my family side, I have, we had 8 children, 5 boys and 3 girls. We were fortunate to have had a good life. We lived at 1046 South Illinois for 26 years, and I had to move to Santa Rosa. But other than that, now I'm involved with the American Legion. I've been involved with the American Legion. I'm the adjutant. I've been the adjutant for I don't know how many years. So that's about the story, a quick story of my life.
Lastly, can you tell us about your military rank and maybe one short story of your in the Berlin crisis?
I came out in Korea. I came back home as a corporal. And of course, I joined the National Guard in 54, right after I got out. And then I served with the National Guard for a number of years. And then I quit the National Guard. Then I joined up again in 1961. They called us in for active duty, and we were there for 10 months or 11 months, and came out as a E6, Sergeant First Class. And anything else?
Okay. Did you want to speak on why you joined the military? Was it very important for you or patriotic?
I joined the military because things were really bad in the valley. Going up north, I never went I wasn't a good worker in the fields. So that's why I joined the Army. And of course, after I came back, and then I had to finish high school, which after I got married and went to school for a number of years to get my high school diploma. I got it in Weslaco Veteran School. Then I went to Pan American. I had studied business administration. I had 60 hours. And I couldn't make it because we had 7 kids already, or 8 kids. So, but that's another story. Let's struggling to life. And of course, during the post, I was working for the post office. I also had to work on the outside. After I got home, got a sandwich, came back to work. I used to work for the police department as dispatcher for 5 years under Claudio Castellera Jr. And then I worked for Fort Woods, and I worked different places. First National Bank. I had 2 jobs. Anytime they needed somebody, I said, call Aldape. But we made it, and we made it through. Thank God. I'm involved with the church too. So for many years, Our Lady of Mercy being my church, and we try to help out and everything. That's too many stories.
Thank you.